is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? I know you guys been waiting. I haven't been talking about the draft enough until now. But as you guys seen, I did a mock draft a while ago, and I just wanted to update it as we get closer to the draft, since it is June and the NBA draft is on the 20th of this month. I wanted to give you guys my 1 through 20. At first, I did my 1 through 10, and then I was going to do part 2. Things have changed. I'm about to do all of these picks in one video. This might be my last mock draft because I don't think too much will change. And if it does, I will update it. But I think this is going to be my standard. I don't even want to change my first mock draft. Only problem is I didn't cover the whole lottery. I only covered the top 10, so I had to update it anyway to give you guys the rest. Also, I will be doing a post mock draft lottery, reviewing the draft and reviewing the selections. So if you're new to the channel or you haven't watched the video or you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to go through the first couple quickly because these are basically set in stone. This is what we believe unless somebody die or accident happen, which we don't know, but it is possible. Number 1, obviously the Pelicans will take the best player, Zion Williamson. He's a once-in-a-generation player. People feel he has the size, he has the versatility, he has the athletic, he got the rebound ability, and he has huge upside. He's still young, so he can continue to grow, so he can be even bigger and taller in the future. Plus, he has the ability to be limitless when it comes to what he can do on the court. We done seen people like Blake Griffin learn how to shoot free throws, learn how to shoot threes, learn how to pass, learn how to handle the ball all over the court and become a point forward. So I think Zion has a lot of talent. It just maximizing his potential is going to be the thing. And if you're able to do that, you got you a serious gem and possibly building block. Number 2, same thing with Ja Morant. I think Zion is clearly better than him and more valuable because he is a wing. But I think Ja, in the age of point guards, as the superstars, and point guards are heavy, especially in the West. You want somebody that can play some decent defense, run the offense, and get out there and get y'all easy opportunities. And I feel like Ja Morant is perfect for Memphis. And he's a guy with huge upside, too, because he is the height of most point guards. He has the speed of a lot of the elite point guards, and that can work to his advantage. Plus, he's a pass-first player. We don't really see that often, but the guy can give you double-digit points, 15 to 16 points, and about 7 to 8 assists right away. And if you can get that, plus he has potential to be better, I don't see why you wouldn't. A person I think people are sleeping on, me and my girlfriend and me, I met Jonathan Govoni of Draft Express. We all agree that people sleeping on RJ Barrett. This is a guy that can really hoop. He can get to the basket. You got to think about it in the NBA game. He can get to the basket easier, not just because he's big, but because they have more floor spacing, and he can get backdoor cuts, and he can get out in transition. And I think his set shot will improve, and his pull-up and floater game will improve. With more floor spacing, you get more opportunities to go one-on-one. You get more space to operate in the paint. He didn't have that at Duke, but he will be able to have that in the NBA, even if it's for the Knicks. The Knicks got some floor spacers, and they got a lot of cap space. So if they want to trade this pick, I see. But I still think the number 3 pick will be RJ Barrett. I don't know who will trade for him. I don't know who wants him more than this or more than that. They say Atlanta wants him. They're willing to trade their 2 picks to get him. If that's the case, I think that's an even better fit because he doesn't have to worry about doing everything because Trae Young probes and make everybody around him better. Plus, he's a good shooter off the ball. So he fits perfectly with Atlanta, especially with their bigs. And you have Bazemore, you have Prince that can give you space at that 2-3 position. And even if he plays small ball 4, he have floor spacing. But not only that, he can play that 2 or that 3 and still give them quality and still get easy looks. So we'll see where he goes. But regardless, the number 3 pick I feel will be RJ Barrett, regardless if it's the Knicks or somebody trading for it. This is where the draft starts to fall off a little bit. And I'm not talking about talent-wise. I'm talking about this is all opinion after here. I feel like Culver goes 4. I think that he's a guy that I think some people sleeping on, some people overrating, but I don't see the Lakers picking anybody besides a wing, even though they do have a bunch of guards and they do have LeBron James. I think that when you look at the best talent available, I'd rather have Kofor because of his size, because he's a wing, and because of his upside. So that's the person I would go with. And I think that this pick will definitely be traded too. I don't see them trying to rebuild with young talent because they already have abundance of it. They already have Kuzma. They already have Ingram. They already have Ball. They already have LeBron. So they don't need any more talent. They need to get upgraded talent, all-star talent, and this pick can draw them closer to getting that pick. But if I had to pick somebody, the fifth best player in this draft right now, plus potential, I'm going with Culver. So that's just my personal opinion. And at the end of the day, even if the Lakers do trade this pick, which I do think they will, I still think he'll be the selection. Number 5, I have Hunter going here. He's a 6'7" defensive guy with a huge upside. Um, I think he is a sophomore. He is 21, turning 22, but this is a guy that can really become something special. And remember, the Paul George, the Kawhi Leonards, the Jimmy Butlers, they all started as defensive players with good size, good athleticism. And if he's a workhorse like we believe, he should be able to get to that level of being at least a star, at worst, a glue guy. And even if that's a 3-and-D guy, that's pretty impressive. For this pick to get a guy that can be something special. The Cavaliers need wings. They need more versatility. They need more defense. And I think this is the right guy for them. I don't think they trade this pick. I think they pick Hunter here. Now, this is another place where it get kind of shooken up a little bit because some people have Garland going high. Some people have Garland going lower. Some people don't know how they're going to pick because of the injury, but I actually have Kobe White going to Phoenix. I feel like he's a taller, he has more upside because of his length, because of his size, and he's a scorer too. I think just because of that, they need somebody with size, they need somebody that can score right away, and they need somebody that can play. We don't know how Darius Garland will transition because he didn't really play that much in college. He didn't really give us enough of a sample. So he gave us not even a sample size. He is a guy that we know can play, but we don't know how he will play on the NBA level. He is small. He is short. He can shoot, and that's popular, but he doesn't have the upside that Kobe White has. So I think Phoenix go with the guy with the higher upside, plus a guy that can contribute right now. And I could see them trading this pick because we don't really know if they're going to be able to get either of these two players. But if they are available, Kobe White to me has a higher upside than Darius Garland. I think that's why they pick him. Number 6, I do have the Bulls picking Garland. He will be the best talent available at that point, and he's a guy that can come in and give them floor space and ball handling and scoring. Something that Dunn doesn't do. I feel like Dunn has the higher upside, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. He hasn't been able to stay on the court. Plus, he's not really known as an aggressive scorer. And I think Garland gives you all that. Plus, he'll be on a rookie contract for a couple years, and you can allow him to grow with LaVine. Only bad part, just like I think about Devin Booker, that's going to be a bad defensive team with Garland and LaVine. So keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to have a backcourt that can light it up and score with the best of them, but you're going to give up a lot of points with Darius Garland and a guy like Zach LaVine being your backcourt. So just keep that in mind if I had to be honest about it. That's for the Chicago Bulls at 7. Atlanta Hawks, I think everybody agreeing with this right now. Cam Reddish, he's a guy with huge upside if he can realize it. This guy is 208 pounds, 7-foot wingspan, 6'8". It's hard to pass up on a guy like this. But if you do get RJ Barrett, I'd rather have RJ Barrett, obviously, than Cam Reddish. But if you can't trade up in a draft to get Barrett, might as well get Cam Reddish. This is a guy that's length and everything is just so beautiful. He has the size. He has everything you need in the wing. He just has to put it all together. And with guys that can space the floor and playing with a guy that make you better, I think that his shots and his talent will be unlocked in Atlanta. The problem is, will they keep this pick? And even if they do, I think Cam Reddish is just too high of an upside to not pick at number 8. Even if they trade this pick, I think somebody will still pick him with the 8th pick. Washington, I went back and forth with this one, but since we don't know what Bradley Beal will be at, and we know that John Wall gonna miss majority of the season, I think they should just take the guy with the highest upside. So that Sekou I don't think they trade this pick. I think they keep it. And with the unknown status of John Wall and Bradley Beal being on this roster or not playing, I think you just go for best talent, best upside, because you're gonna have to find another guy to be your franchise player if both of those two players not available, or even if John Wall does miss the whole season, it's going to be a throwaway season anyway. So why not take a guy with high upside? And that's why I think they take Sekou. I think I changed that from my last mock draft, but I think that is realistic in that situation. As we see again, the Atlanta Hawks is back on the board. With this pick, I think that if they do keep this pick instead of trying to get RJ Barrett, I think personally I would go with Bol, a guy that can protect the rim, a guy that can space the floor and play with John Collins on the perimeter and in the inside. I think him and Collins has a huge upside as a front court, and it allows Collins to play that forward position, which he really has the size for that. He's not really tall and big enough for a center to me. I think Bol is skinny, but he can fix that. He has the shooting ability. He has the rim protection ability if they can mold him into that. And honestly, Atlanta need defense. They need people that can play defense. And Bol ain't know that as a defender, but he has upside to be possibly a solid to a decent rim protector. If they do not take him, they can always take um, another guy that I like in this draft at this position is obviously Jackson Hayes. So if they're going for defense, which I think they should, if they get Barrett, then never mind. But if they don't and they keep this pick, I think they should go for Bol or Jackson Hayes at 10. But obviously, you can take PJ Washington too, but they have a lot of wings already, and they're gonna have another one if they take Barrett or Cam Reddish. So I don't really see. I think they need to figure out the big court and the defensive end of the ball, other side of the court, and not focus so much on offense, as that's something that they have a hole in right now is defense. Number 11, I have the Timberwolves taking Brandon Clark. They need some defense on that team too, and I think with a new coach and the fact that Wiggins can play the 2 or the 3, and you already have the center position filled with Karl Anthony Towns, you're either going to go for another big or you're going to go for a wing, and I think they should just go with Brandon Clark. Even if they have Sarge, he play more of the 4. I know they have Robert Covington locked up to a long-term contract. But if they don't go with Brandon Clark, they can go with Romeo Langford, who will give them scoring off their bench. And I think that worst case scenario, they get another big. Best case scenario, they just go for Romeo Langford to get some scoring off the bench to help give them some offense, especially if Derrick Rose decides to leave. I think those are the main options. But if I had to pick one person at this pick, it would be Jackson Hayes. If he does not go to Atlanta or he is available, I think they take him at number 11. Worst case scenario, they get Romeo Langford, another guy that can come off the bench and give them a spark. Number 12, I don't think the Hornets will take Langford because they have Malik Monk. They have Michael Kidd Gilchrist. They have a lot of wings already. So I think that they can take Bol. I think they can take a guy like Jackson Hayes. I think they can take even a guy like Brandon Clark, even though he is a little bigger than Michael Kidd Gilchrist. He has a little bit more scoring ability. So I think that that's who they should take at 12. At 13, this is, some people say Kevin Porter. I think for the Miami Heat that they just take somebody that can come in and play right now. I can see them taking Nasir Little, but I don't really see it because I see that they have Winslow. They have guys like even Richardson. They have him. They got a lot of wings, and I don't think that they should take another ring. If they can't get Bol or Jackson Hayes, I think that they should just go for best talent available, and then that might be Kevin Porter. He has upside, he has potential, but I don't think they need another wing. Honestly, I think that they need to figure out what they do need to do. If I had to go with a guy with upside, I would probably take Nasir Little over all of them. Only problem is, like I said, you have too many wings in that position. But worst case scenario, you take best talent available, and that's probably Kevin Porter, Jackson Hayes, Bol if they're available, or even Nasir Little. Boston Celtics, I think they don't really have a need for anything either. I think they just take best talent available at 14, which could be Kevin Porter with upside. That could be Nasir Little. That could be Nickel Alexander Walker. It can be any of these guys. They don't really need any specific position filled. So I feel like they just draft best talent available. Pistons, I think they need more wing scoring and more shooting. So I don't think they take Nasir Little. I think they go with a guy that can really put the ball in the basket. And whether that's Langford if he falls, or if that's even Kevin Porter because he has upside to be a good scorer. I think that that's the guy that they will take as a wing that can really score, and I think it'd be a lot of decent wings with potential at that 15 position available. And I think that that's who they will pick because they really do need that, even if it's coming off the bench. Orlando Magic, I think they just go with potential. I think they go with Alexander Walker right here out of Virginia Tech. He's a guy with huge potential. You already have Markelle Fultz, who you're going to try out. If he doesn't work, you have a backup plan at that position, or somebody that can give you some dynamic that can play with Fournier or without him, or a guy that can play with or without Markelle Fultz. I think that'd be something that's special. 17, Brooklyn. I think they go with the guy out of KK Mega BMAX, Georgia. I don't really know his name, so I'm not going to butcher it. I think they go with more potential as they have a lot of big free agent moves and they got their main core intact. I think they should just go with a guy that can give them a spark, or if not, just go with a guy that can be potential good because they already have a lot of their positions filled, like Jarrett Allen, D'Angelo Russell, Spencer Dinwiddie, and obviously Karis LeVert. They don't need really that much. They just need a guy that can come in and contribute, whether that's Tyler Hero or even if it's a guy like Grant Williams that can come in right away and give you some production. I think that that's what I see the Brooklyn Nets taking. Indiana, I think they go with um, Tyler. No, I think San Antonio go with Tyler, and I think Indiana. I think they go with best talent available. Indiana will get um, Victor Oladipo back, so they don't need a guard. And honestly, I don't really believe that they really need anything either. And they do have money this free agency to throw at somebody else. Spurs, I think they go with Tyler, a guy that can come in and contribute and give them shooting. I think he'd be a perfect Spur. If not, I can definitely see them going with Grant Williams if available. And obviously, the Boston Celtics get the 20th pick, and I think they can go in different ways with this one. They can go with Dylan, an older guy, but he can give you the shooting, and I think that's always needed in the NBA. I think you can go with Rue. He can give you offensive versatility right away, even if it's off the bench, and he will be available. I don't think it's no wrong or right pick for Boston. I think that just is just you getting somebody that can come in and contribute and give you something special. So that's my top 20 board. Those are the players I think should fit. Those are the teams I think should trade. I don't really think none of these players will be surefire bust. I think a lot of these players will be role players, people that can have 5 to 10 year careers, even longer, and just fill in, be glue guys, just be sixth, seventh, or eighth men. Obviously, you got the Zions and the Jaws and the Barretts that's projected to be all stars. You got a couple people that can be all stars to stars, and Garland, White, Hunter, Cover, and obviously Cam Reddish. You have Boyle Boyle, a guy that can be a bust, or can be a role player, or can be a star, or even can be an all-star depending on what team or what role he has. You have Brandon Clark and Jackson Hayes that can become two-way potential talent, and you have Sekou and Goga, the guys that we don't know what they will be. They can be busts. They can be guys that can take 3, 4, 5 years to develop into at least a star. And you have guys like Romeo Langford, Kevin Porter, and Nazir. They can be something more than just a regular role player. They can possibly become stars, but it will be years down the line. So I don't really think after that top three, it's no right or must pick because a lot of these teams either have the position filled, a lot of these teams either want to draft the best talent available, or they just want to draft a player that can come in and contribute off the bench or plug into their starting lineup for a cheap contract, or they can use this as an asset to trade up in the draft or use their picks as an asset to get another player that they want that can fit them and help them win right now if they can't find that in the draft. And I see that with the Celtics. I see that with the Lakers. I see that with the Knicks. I see that even with teams like Brooklyn. I don't think they need a pick player in this draft because they have their nucleus, they have their core already figured out, And once they get them signed up, or once they figure out what they do in free agency, I don't think their draft picks really matter. I just feel like they're just using it to get better now, or find a way to get more picks, or find a way to get talent that can contribute right now. So it's a lot of these picks that's debatable. A lot of these picks you can't go right or wrong, and a lot of these picks that teams really don't need right now. They're just picking because they do have a selection, or they can't get who they want, or they can't trade up, or they can't trade for the player they want. So they're just going to draft a talent that can contribute. So let me know what you guys think. I think I did my thing. Let me know how you feel about the draft. Let me know who you think should go number 1, 2, 3. Let me know who you think your team should pick, what you agree or disagree with, or let me know how you personally feel about the draft. This is Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. Check out my website, AnalysisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, AnalysisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that likes the YouTube videos. Thanks for everybody that continue to comment. And thanks for everybody that's watching. If you're new to the channel, I do cover the draft. I do NBA Summer League breakdowns. I do break down NBA players and NBA legends. I also do discussions. I also do playoff predictions. I also cover free agency, trade deadline, and buyouts. And I also do top 10 videos and fun videos and discussion videos, like I said. So if you love the NBA, come be a part of the family. Check out this video. Check out my older videos. And remember, I do have a post-draft mock draft coming up once the draft is over. And if you're new to the channel, check out my playlists. If you like this video, like my videos in my playlist, subscribe. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about the draft in mind.